No, that's true. Never. Not in all time, not even in eternity, will Yahweh overlook, forget, ignore, be unmindful of, fail to respond to, be remiss in mentioning the accomplishments of Dod's Nefesh soul. Dod not only unified God's people, Yisrael, not only acquired Jerusalem as Yahweh's city, not only acquired the Temple Mount where the home for Yahweh's name would reside, not only demonstrated the kind of love that Yahweh is seeking between us and him, not only exemplified the perfect Son, not only served as a great prophet, not only brought God great joy through the lyrics of his songs and the melody of his voice, not only the greatest mind and orator of all time, not only the great shepherd who would tend God's flock, not only the great fighter who defended God's people. Most of all, Dod had the intellect and the interest to follow the story of the Torah through what happened between Abraham, Sarah, and Yishak, to realize that when they went to Mount Moriah, and there was to be a sacrifice, and yet Yahweh provided the lamb, that as he read on and saw the role of that lamb and the fulfillment of Passover in conjunction with firstborn sons, it became obvious to him that since God had called him his firstborn son, that it would be Dod that would fulfill Passover. He realized that is how the benefits of Passover, which are extended life, would be provided. And then he realized that as the children of Israel didn't experience freedom on Pesach, but had a lovely meal and their lives spared, that it wasn't until Matzah that they were freed of the religious and political corruption that had enslaved them in Mitzrayim. And Dod obviously figured out that the yeast that is being removed from the bread was symbolic of the children of Israel being removed from the religious and political corruption of Mitzrayim. And that political and religious guilt, which was symbolically swallowed by the sea upon the Exodus as the children of Israel crossed as a metaphor for Bikurim, firstborn children, and then the pursuing army of Pharaoh was swallowed by it. Dod figured out that I need to take the guilt of my people and take it very, very far away. And Yahweh and he came to understand the way to do that is to take the guilt of every covenant member and to carry it into Sheol on Matzah, to be disassociated from them forever. And Dod also realized that what Bikurim, since it means firstborn children, and he understood the breaking and the crashing of the waters, that as the children of Israel crossed through the Red Sea and entered back into the base of Mount Choreb to be enlightened by the Torah and Yahweh's presence, that was symbolic of firstborn children. And as the firstborn, the Towrah of God, he knew that he was being invited to fulfill these Moed Mekre. And he also recognized that leading the children of Israel, which Moshe did for 40 years, was essentially an impossible task. Jews are irascible. They're cantankerous. They're really lousy listeners, exceedingly ungrateful. And Dod realized that something extraordinary would have to happen, something better than the character even of Moshe, to earn their crushed to the extent that, well, they would do what they weren't even willing to do for Yahweh. They told Yahweh to shut up and go away. But Dod recognized that if he fulfilled Pesach, Matzah, and Bakodim, then every single soul that would be part of his covenant family, for him to be king over that family forevermore, would be there because of what he has done, and that we would all owe him our lives. And, well, that would tend to get everybody's attention. And that is the accomplishment and the resulting benefit from Dod's soul that Yahweh will never overlook and will never forget. That is the message that is being conveyed here.